Hey guys, it's Ayla, and today I am making another video because, as you might know, I am trying to make more videos for my blog because basically I love videos and I just want to make more. And so I decided that over the next month that I will be doing Top 10 Tuesday videos instead of written posts. Basically, this week is a video post, then there will be a written post and another video and another written post, and depending on how well this is going and how much people like it and how much time I have and how much I like it, I am going to do this as a test. So maybe next month there will be no videos, maybe next month there will be more videos, who knows. So Top 10 Tuesday is a weekly meme created by a blog called The Broke and the Bookish. Basically every week, not every month, every week you get a topic, and with that topic you make a list of 10 books or less or more depending on what the topic is and how many books you can come up with. So today's topic is in the description down below and maybe on the screen and on my blog, but it is books with a certain topic, like books with X topic, so you get to choose something of your own. Now, I don't read contemporary or anything, and I read a lot of fantasy with like magical worlds, and you can't really make a list of one magical world, so I decided that my topic will be dystopian. I chose a topic because that is probably what I've read most, like because dystopian it's not really a setting. I don't know, actually. I'm starting to doubt myself. Anyway, so if you don't know what dystopia is, I have written a blog series about genres in YA, and I wrote about science fiction. In science fiction, there's a little bit about dystopia, so I'm going to link it down below. Book number 1 is quite predictable because it is The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins, and this is the first dystopian book that I've read, and also the first trilogy that I read in English, and overall the first trilogy that I read, so that's pretty cool. Everyone knows what it's about, so I'm just gonna, stop talking about it. Number 2 is also quite predictable because it is Divergent by Veronica Roth. And, it's the second trilogy and dystopia that I read, and, it's just freaking awesome. I actually preferred this one over The Hunger Games because of, like, the plot twist end of the trilogy. Like, oh my god, it was so good, and probably everyone knows. I'm not gonna say it in case you don't know, because then you're so lucky. Because when I read A Legend, then I already knew what was going to happen in the end. Okay, so book 3 is a book that people might know from a certain TV show, or because you read the book, or both, or maybe you don't know it at all. But it's The 100 by Cass Morgan, and this book is so great, honestly. Like, people complain about it a lot because it's so different from a TV show, but it is actually really great. I started watching a TV show, then found the books, and then I read them, and yes, they are different, but they're so good. If you don't know what The 100 is about, basically Earth has become uninhabitable because of a nuclear war, and then they send these 100 teens to the ground to see if it's survivable, and then a lot of things go down. There's also in the book a character who does not go to the ground, and my head is messed up because of the TV show and the book because it's so different, but they're both really good, and I really recommend you check this out because it is great, and it's not that big of a read, so it's easy to finish. Book number 4 on my list is actually Angel Fall by Susan E., but I only have World After, so that's what I'm using for the video. But basically, this is another dystopia, kind of post-apocalyptic books trilogy about angels being on Earth and everything, and it's really cool. I wrote a review on it back in January. It was the first book I read this year, and it was so good. And I'm terrible at explaining it because I have the second book right here and I can't really read or anything, and just like it'll become a mess. Basically, I recommend you check out the review that I did and then check out the book because it is absolutely amazing. People have probably heard about it already because it's quite old, but it's still really good. So, if you haven't read it yet, I recommend you check it out. Book number 5 on my list is Wither by Lauren DeStefano from the Chemical Garden trilogy. This is the Dutch edition, so if you think, like, what the hell is she holding? It's a Dutch edition. I read this a really long time ago, and from what I can remember is that it is a dystopia, obviously, about this girl who lives in this world where, because of a genetic experiment, I was looking for that word, because of a genetic experiment, people do not grow older than 25, and that is kind of shitty, like, I'm 19, then that would mean that I would die in 6 years. That's scary. But anyway, she lives in this world, and because kids, teens, youths are dying so early, girls are being kidnapped to be married off to these guys, in order to make babies, because you know otherwise the world would end. So I never continued, which kind of makes me sad because it seems so interesting right now. So I'm definitely going to be rereading this and maybe continuing the series. But this is a dystopian that if you haven't checked out yet, I recommend you do, even though I'm kind of negative about it. I feel like this is really good. So the last books on my top 10 Tuesday list are not ones that I own. I have read them as an ebook or borrowed them, and then just, like I said, I don't own them. So I can't really show you, but I will make sure to put the covers of the books in this video and just describe what they are about. Book 7 on my list is Paradigm by Sarah A. Loa. This book was supposed to be a trilogy, but then there was only one book, and I think it's very underrated. Obviously, otherwise there would have been a trilogy, but I can't find any information about it, whether it's still happening or discontinued or whatever. I'm just gonna read the description from Goodreads or put it down below, whatever, because I cannot really explain this. Okay, you know what? I'm still gonna read it. I need to try to read it. It's like a challenge for me right now. I keep forgetting at this point where I cannot pronounce a word, and it's terrible. So I'm gonna try again. Okay, I am really, really terrible at reading book descriptions. I really recommend you check it out, even though it's discontinued trilogy. I don't remember the ending of the book, but it was really great. And overall, you know, it's a book and it's dystopian and it's awesome and it just sounds cool. So, okay, so number 7 is The Maze Runner by James Dashner, and everyone knows about this, so I don't really have to explain what it is about. But I do know that the books are different from the movie because I read the first book and I read it twice, sort of, because the first time I could not get through this book at all. Like, I stopped. I did not finish it the first time, and then a few months later, after seeing the movie, I picked it up again and actually enjoyed it, but it was different. It was quite difficult with all the different words that are like only existing in this Maze Runner world, and it's cool. It's awesome, but you know, it took me a while to get through, and I've heard multiple people say that it's not that hard, not that easy. Number 8 on my list is Shatter Me by Tahereh Mafi, and it is such an amazing book, and I honestly forgot that it was dystopian. I was like looking up more dystopian books for this list because I cannot get to 10, but anyway, I was looking this up and I found Shatter Me, and I was like, oh, how could I forget? Because this trilogy is absolutely amazing. I really loved it. Like, some people have trouble getting through these books because it's a trilogy with 2 novellas, but it is really, really great. I don't really remember much of this book other than that I absolutely loved it so much that I think in like 2 or 3 days I read the entire trilogy. Okay, so number 9 on my list is The Selection by Kira Cass, and if you have not heard about that, I will be really shocked. I read it years and years and years back, and it's so good. And then this year I read the Dutch translation on my iPad, and it was super great. Just read it again, and like for the entire year I've been saying I need the hardcovers of this book, of the series, on my shelf. And all these months later, I still don't have it. I apologize for the terrible, terrible descriptions of books in this video. But I hope you liked it anyway. I hope you liked me doing a Top 10 Tuesday video instead of a post. It's a little bit like of a change, but it's one that I like. So hopefully I'll be able to continue this in the future. In 2 weeks, there will be a new video about Top 10 Tuesday, which I am also really excited about, because I mean, it's a video and it's like yay, and I'm preparing it already, so that's good. Like, I know there's gonna be a video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am terrible at ending videos, but bye.